Hello everyone, and welcome to Windows 7 Project Part 1 of the Windows PowerShell and the Windows PowerShell Integrated Scripting Environment, also known as ISE. My name is Steve Way, and let's sit back, relax, and enjoy those Windows 7 Project Part 1 and Part 2 series of Windows PowerShell PowerPoints. So, I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Today's Windows PowerShell agenda is we're going to introduce to Windows PowerShell and Cabinet. We're going to learn about the basics of Windows PowerShell, and there are many types of Windows PowerShell commands and some examples of Windows PowerShell commands. And then we're going to talk about the basics of scripting PowerShell, and we're going to use the ps-script.ps1 on the Windows PowerShell ISE. We're going to change the script by using the variables. We're going to specify the threshold number, and we're about to use the command line parameters on the PowerShell command prompt window, and we're going to create multiple subfolders in an existing folder and making with a directory. So let's begin. Alright, a lot of people know, and a lot of people doesn't know what is Windows PowerShell is. So what is Windows PowerShell? Now, Windows PowerShell is an object-oriented shell with a full-featured scripting language and consisting of command line shell. However, it can be integrated with a .NET framework, like .NET Framework 2.0 or NET Framework 3.0, or even .NET Framework 4.0 or higher. So, Windows PowerShell can be found on Windows XP, Windows 7, and Windows Vista. Also, it used on Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2007, and Windows Server 2008. Now, what is Camlet means? A Camlet is a lightweight command that is used on Windows PowerShell environment. So Camlets can pass data to each other as structured objects rather than a loose collection of text. So think about the difference between Camlets and command. So Camlets and commands are the same thing that can be used in the Windows PowerShell environment. Here are the basics of Windows PowerShell. So PowerShell is like Windows elevated command prompt. for example, like cmd.exe for using the start run box on the start menu. It looks like they have two command prompts: the elevator command prompt and Windows PowerShell command prompt window. And today we're going to use the integrated scripting environment, also known as ISE, called the Windows PowerShell integrated scripting environment, ISE. And it can be used as Microsoft Task Automation Framework, like the .NET framework. And PowerShell camlets naming the verb and noun. You just learned in English class that talks about the verb and the noun. So what is verb? The verb means take place of the noun, and noun is person, place, thing, or idea. Now PowerShell can be used for input and outputs, and PowerShell can be used for pipping, and there's one other thing: pipping outputs from one command to another. And also, link camlets are separated by the pipe command using the slash, dash, or like a hyphen on your keyboard. So you can use like a verb dash noun with the pipe command, and using the verb and noun on another command. There are some types of PowerShell commands and camlets on Windows PowerShell ISE. Now, first things first is the get help command. Now, the get help command gives out information about commands and examples about PowerShell, and it gives you a list of details, examples, tips, and more on your Windows PowerShell. Now, second is the get command. Now, the get command uses the basic information about camlets and commands and other elements of Windows PowerShell commands. Now, third one will be get child item. Now, the get child item uses the items and the child items like you making a directory in a command prompt in one or more specified locations in your computer. Now, the get process uses the process that are running in your computer, which is your local or remote computer. And then the stop process makes you stop one or more running process, like get process command. Now, the sort object can be sorted the list by property values. Now, for example, you can sort object by using ascending form, which is A through Z, and the descending means to go back from Z to A. So that is the example of sort object. Now the get member gets the properties and methods of objects like the list of get members command. So there are more types of PowerShell commands and cmdlets, like the get service command. Now the get service command uses the services on the computer that shows a lot of lists on your Windows PowerShell ISE. Now the get alias command gets all the aliases on the computer, or they call it get alias command. So the write host command can be customized output. For example, I had to do the variable and then the equal sign, and then I type the word, and then I do the write host and then the variable to write down the word, to type down the word, and I can use the two parameters, which is the foreground color. Now the foreground color specifies the color of the text, and then the background color specifies the background color, and it can be used to pick any colors like red, yellow, blue, gray, green, cyan, magenta, or other colors that you pick on your write host command. Okay, a lot of people know, and a lot of people doesn't know how to use Windows PowerShell ISE. So to get on with the Windows PowerShell ISE, you just go to Start button and then search Windows PowerShell ISE on the Start menu, so you can find it with the name of Windows PowerShell ISE, and you can open it or right click open open up the menu, and then the Windows PowerShell ISE appears on your screen. Now, if you are using the Run as Administrator for Windows PowerShell ISE, here's how. You just go to Start button and you search Windows PowerShell ISE, and then found it on the Start menu, and make sure you right click Run as Administrator, and then the UAC dialog box pops up on your screen, and then click Yes to accept the UAC, which is the User Account Control dialog box, and the Windows PowerShell ISE appears on your screen. Is that simple? Now, here are examples of how to use Windows PowerShellISE. Now, on the top part, it is the script pane and the editor pane. On the PowerShellISE, in the middle is the output pane, and then on the bottom is the command pane, so you can type your command. So here's my examples of Windows PowerShell commands. First of all, I like to use the get help item. So I type on the command pane with get help, and then I can use the get child item on the command pane and add it with examples. And when I hit enter, it shows the list of examples, the name, the definition, and the description of get help. Here's my another example of Windows PowerShell commands. It's using the get alias command. So I typed the get alias command with the pippin command, and using the sort object command, and add it with the descending command, which means going back from Z to A. When I hit enter, it shows all of the alias on the command type, the name, and the definition of get alias, and then I can use the sort object to descending for all the aliases. And when I used a ascending order to type get alias, sort object, and descending, ascending, it starts as default from A to Z. So I can choose which one I sort from ascending to descending. Now here's my another example of Windows PowerShell commands is the write host command. So to do that, I was typing my variable, which is $A, hit the equal button, and then I type the word measurements. Now to do, and then when I hit enter, well, it came up. So I have to do the write host command, and then I type measurements in cyan text. You because cyan was a color, is a color. Of the text, and then I'll choose the foreground color, which I picked dark yellow, and then the background color is cyan, like the word measurements in cyan text. And then when I hit enter, the color appears and changes text and highlights the colors. So measurements in cyan text is in dark yellow, and then the background color, which is highlighted in cyan. So it works by using the right host command. And that is the end of the Windows 7 project part 1. So stay tuned. We will go to Windows 7 project part 2 on Windows PowerShell and the Windows PowerShell integrated scripting environment ISE.